Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mega Scorchers The Standby Phase, Yu-Gi-Oh! All-in-One podcast. Today is Sunday, January 10th, 2016. Yes, 2016, Episode 6. And we are back yet again. Hello, I'm joined this week by, hello there, Gandhi.
How's it going, Matt?
It's going good, it's going good. We had some fun times organizing all your shit. You had quite a bit of card stock that needed to be organized and whatnot.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But we're back. We had a nice time of our holiday break, and we're back with our regular festivities here over at Mega Scorcher. All the shows start up again this week. Of course, at the beginning of the week, there's the main phase and the standby phase. So, we got to enjoy those two shows. Also, Remove from Play starts up again this week as well.
Indeed.
Yes, so we're back and better than ever. So let's start this off like we always do. What decks we've been playing lately, especially this past 2 months since we've been off. A lot of things have changed since a set came out. Well, actually, a sneak peek happened this weekend, so it's going to change up some more things. But what have you been playing over these past times off during the holidays and whatnot?
I've been playing with my usual Cliff Forts. Haven't given up on them yet.
You don't need no towers.
Not at all. The shell is all I need. One shell.
One shell.
Or 3 shells, 3 shots. That's all I need.
There you go. That's all you need.
But what I've been testing more at my locals is Infernoids. Yes. It's a pretty good deck. A lot of graveyard heat and control. The only downside is you have to really manipulate your monster field, and it's kind of challenging to do in certain scenarios. But if you make the right field, you pretty much can hamper out the game.
Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, Infernoids, I still feel like at the end of the day, it's like, hey, I activate reasoning, I win. But sometimes you don't always have reasoning, so you have to, actually play it out. I've come back sometimes when the Infernoid player plays reasoning on me, but generally I do agree that when that happens, they win.
Yeah. There's a lot of other intricacies. Since High Speed Raiders, the deck became Omega. There we go. Decatron makes me Omega. Deck. First turn
Omega. Yeah, I know you were talking about because you were, what you saying you were at a regional?
Yeah, I attended regionals this past Saturday.
And that guy, the one match you were playing against somebody, they were popping it out every time, their first turn pretty much.
Yeah, he was spamming Omegas.
Yeah, it must have made you feel like, oh, damn. Mm-hmm. Uphill battle all the time.
Yeah. Always hard to win when you got less.
Always is. Yep. Always is. Always a challenge.
Yes.
But then you could just play that Exodia. And call it a day.
Indeed.
Yeah. But no, not many people do play that. But some people do. People do, who are saying. But just at regionals, usually you don't see that. Well, no, you always see some rogue, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I myself have not been playing much at all because it was holidays, so I was mostly spending time with family on my weekends and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I was getting ready for when June 29th comes around and those structure decks come out, so when I can buy 3 of those bad boys and then have everything I need.
Woot.
So I've been trying to figure out my deck list for that when that comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm the weirdo or maybe I'm just trying to do something different for the sake of doing something different, maybe, but I don't know. I'm gonna probably go with the non-field spell version, so because I actually want an extra deck. Yeah. So, although I do see the draw to that, and I see a lot of OCG lists, that's pretty much the agreed upon way to make the deck at this point.
Yeah, but if you can figure something out, do your own thing.
Yeah, I saw a couple lists out there in the OCG where they were doing variants where they would have an extra deck.
Yeah.
Which I like that. Heck, I might even do it where I'm still gonna make a Magic Fiend deck, but I'm just gonna try to utilize some of the other cards that come in that. Especially getting one of the vessel. Like, how many vessels are we getting in that? I'm not 100% sure. I know we're getting the Thunder vessel in that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't know if we're getting the Rock one and all those other ones, too.
Yeah, they've been generally releasing one every other set. I know we got the Frost vessel.
So I like that we're getting the Thunder Vessel, so that will be help out a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes, they ain't got no monsters for you to storm for. So, well, generate that token.
Exactly.
And then storm forth that token. Storm forth that token. There you go.
Indeed.
So that's pretty much what I've been doing in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh! Not much playing, just a lot of trying to figure out what I want to do with that. I guess I obviously played like a match or two after I made something just for consistency's sake, but I'm just kind of theory-ing how I want that build to go out.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's a little harder on Dueling Network to get OCG matches in my opinion it is. I don't know. Maybe other people get better luck. Maybe it's just the times I'm going on. Who knows? But I don't seem to have luck very often when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I've been up to of that of late. I don't really have any notable games that I played when I was going out testing. Yeah, I don't remember seeing anything real interesting. Have you seen any cool matches lately, maybe, or played anything interesting? Against anything interesting, I should say.
I would say during the regionals, I seen a synchro deck at top tables when I was playing, and that was pretty interesting. It was catered around what I was telling you about earlier. That Chris LeBlanc deck that was popping up to be pretty popular. That's built around Fusionist. It's pretty wonky when you get off the combos. You don't really need to, but it has a lot of other plays. But if you can spam those Omegas, this really became Omega dot format. Every other deck I play is there.
I agree. If you're not playing Omega, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Got to make those Omegas every turn if you can.
Yeah, because I played against that deck at regionals this past Saturday. I was playing Infernoids, but I had game 3, but he top decked Raigeki and won. And then it went off from there. Because I had I had a Christia on the field, and there was no way for him to come back. But that one deck, I think Raigeki need to go back to the ban list, because that just too much of a sack card. You just don't know.
Yeah, it is. Well, hey, that's what it is. Those power cards are power cards for a reason. Like back in the day when someone would top deck, even a Monster Reborn, like, oh, Monster Reborn, give me that free Kai. They're power cards for a reason, man. Raigeki does the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I say keep Dark Hole. It's nice having Raigeki. No, I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. But, I think the honest fair thing is to have Dark Hole and just not Raigeki. I think that's the honest fair thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't care if, Dark Worlds can just still use it and then they'll just get an advantage. Well, then too bad. That deck happens to get an advantage because it destroys its own monsters. Big whoop. I think that's just the logical fair card to have in the game. I think that's me trying to make Yu-Gi-Oh! Fair again. So what am I doing?
I'm like, if we got Raigeki, why no Harpy's Feather Duster? It's another one-sided card. And the way the format is shaping up, you don't really play a lot of back roads unless you're playing Telenites. Anyway.
It's true. I kind of agree with you because this is where Yu-Gi-Oh's I don't know if it's the fastest it's ever been, to be honest, but it's pretty fast right now. So it's like if you're not going off doing what you got to do, getting your advantage and whatnot, building up that field presence, then you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now. You're playing something else.
Definitely.
So Telenites are definitely the ones I think playing those back rows.
Yeah. They can, one of the few decks that can main a lot of floodgates and still do well.
Ooh, speaking of the game and how it's going then, since you had an interesting match there, let's get into State of the Game talk then. I have a couple things in the docket here that I had to bring up. Of course, we have other things to talk about. Bring them up, of course. First thing I have is best cards of Breakers of Shadow. So that sneak peek happened this weekend.
That it did.
And the link here, I have the list. I have that. Not only did the organization provide the picture of the list, which is nice, I guess. They actually have it breaking out as well. So some of the hot cards that you might want to pick up. We want to probably go down that list right now here. I have a couple written here in my little whoa videos. Why they always do this to me? Mm-hmm. They always do me wrong. Okay, so I have a couple things here that I wanted to bring up, but I want you to go ahead and start saying off some things that maybe you would want to think that people need to pick up there, Gandhi. Because I'm pretty sure you're going to say the same things I am.
I'll have some personal ones that I'll start off with. Not hyping it up, but it's generically good. And key thing is generic. Is that Trap Tricks Exceed Raphilia.
Raphilia.
That is something to pick up because it basically lets you play your trap cards from your deck. It's like if Infernities was still a thing, and if you can make spam a couple Raphilias, you pretty much set as a good first turn.
Yeah, being able to detach one, you could send one whole normal trap monster who meets the reactivation requirements of the deck, and in fact becomes trapped. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Also, it also has the same things like, hey, I'm unaffected by trap effects, while it has an XYZ trap tricks monster you control, except for tracks that cannot be destroyed by battle. So it's pretty nice. Have all those
Yeah,
additional things too. That 25 booty.
pretty much.
That 25 booty. I think the wishes will go back and forth, so I'll say one now. Now this one's kind of a no-brainer. I think everyone should be trying to pick up those Perform Age Pal Pendulum Sorcerers.
Yeah,
That's kind of a no-brainer one though.
yeah. That Pepe deck.
So that's going to be something you guys are going to want to pick up for sure. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a very powerful pendulum that works with your already existing Pepe stuff. So might as well crank it up a notch. I've seen people play it at 3, so there you go. That's what you got to be doing. So that's my next one you guys need to pick up.
Yeah. Next one I'm thinking about is I'm trying to think. It's underrated archetype, but it's getting popularity. It's a kaiju card. Their spell card.
So we got a list here. Kaijus. Boom. F3 this shit. Kaijus. Let's see. Cosmos.
Trying to think of the name. It's basically
No, I don't see anything with the name Kaiju in it. Oh, is it like a spell or... What'd you say it was? A spell or trap?
it's a spell card.
Oh, that's probably why. Probably why. Do.
It's like English exclusive because the kaijus is our own TCG
Mm-hmm.
inducted archetype. But it's one of our added on cards to our list.
Yeah. Oh, well, if you don't remember what the name of it is, you remember the fact. That's all that really matters.
Yeah,
Let's see.
it's
Yeah, not even this list really screams out to me, hey, Kaiju.
it destroys. I believe it destroys, searches, and special summons.
Oh,
Those three.
but it's something for Kaijus. Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting indeed. Well, while we're going through that, I'm going to lump all these together, kind of. Cosmo stuff. You got that cool trap card you're going to be picking up. Got that Tin Man you're going to be picking up. There you go. Pick up all those things.
yeah,
all the Kaijus, all the Cosmo stuff. Just pick that up if you're playing that. Might as well. That's how I say pick that up. So I'm going to lump all those together. Another one I'm going to do here real quick is Twin Twister. I think this is kind of another no-brainer. I think that's a card that we're going to be using as we always use MST, but Twin Twister could be that card that comes right up there with MST. Like those are the two you're going to want. Either one of those two are the ones you're going to want to use in the future, no matter what.
yeah. Also, another one is for you BA players, the Phoenix Rhinos. It's been a while, but now it is.
Oh, they're
here.
finally here? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's in BOSH. Oh, man, I remember when I was looking at OCG list back a couple months ago. I was like, damn, that Phoenix Rhino. No wonder. BA was so powerful in OCG. Man, it's crazy how much they had so much going on for them. And now that they got those Rhinos here, that'll help out a lot.
Definitely.
Oh, man, those Rhinos are so good. I'm gonna look double. Man, Rhinos.
But I just figured out the name. It was called Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. They changed the effect is kind of different from what you destroy as many monsters as possible. So it has a built-in dark hole effect, and I'm reading it on right now.
Yeah, chat room just linked us what it was too. They helped us figure it out too. I typed in kaiju. It didn't say there was anything. I always spelled kaiju wrong. That's why. Whoopsie daisy.
Probably because it didn't start off with kaiju, so it's easy to overlook.
Yep. All right, so do you want me to read it off? Or do you got it? Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to finish explaining the effect. You destroy as many monsters as possible, then special summon and attack machine 2 kaijus from different names on either side of the field, or on one side of the field, one respectively. And during your main phase, The turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and add one kaiju monster from your deck to your hand. It was like basically what I said before, but I was just giving you the play by the main three
Mm-hmm.
things it did. It destroyed, special summon, and it added.
That's pretty cool.
But you can activate one per turn. It's really good.
Another card, I think it's also a no-brainer. Solemn Strike.
Yeah.
That's going to be a thing. Everyone's going to want all those. Man, there's so much. Like, we all knew this was coming, by the way. Like, everything, all this stuff was going to be BOSH. Like, this is like a set that everyone's going to just want to buy cases of, to be honest.
Pretty
There's so many
much.
things that even just beyond what's happening in meta right now, you just want to keep forever. Solemn Strikes you're going to need forever. I debate Twin Twisters you're going to need forever. I would debate that. I think that's a card that's going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, the like your Trap Tricks monster. Oh yeah, you know what? And then I almost forgot about this person. Cyber Dragon Infinity is in this as well.
It all goes without saying. Well, you better make that extra room in your extra deck for it. Well, we always had like a one or two floaty spots since Exaton left, so no more Exaton, no more Lavo, Lavo chain. So the relative spots have been kind of floaters in there, or doubling up on certain cards. But now, I don't think it'll be too hard to fit one in there. If you're trying to fit two, that's like a commitment. I don't do you, but yeah, but space is tight, and we getting a lot of good extra deck monsters.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the best and worst thing that would happen to Yu-Gi-Oh is if they make that extra deck space bigger. I
Yeah.
would love it, but man, it might break the game.
Yeah, just give me one more.
Go up to 16.
Yeah, because you can run 4, 4, and 4. 4 fusions, 4 synchros, 4 extra decks. Or 4 XYZs.
Why not? I like that logic. Let's do that. Come on, Konami. That's 4-4-4 roll. Why not?
Yeah, have my synchros be 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 4. Those are the most commonly used synchro monsters. For XYZs, 2 4s, or it could be all 4 because this is synchro, or this is rank 4 format. Depending, can have a 5 and a 6 in case you doing your Cyber Dragon Infinity shenanigans with the Ptolemaeus. And yeah, fusions, just your instant fusion targets basically.
Hey, there's I
There's
don't know what's the
Seraphinite is what they doing with Brilliant Fusion, and your Nodens.
you know it's
There you go.
yeah, I think it's about all I could think of. My last card I think some people should pick up. The Guiding, I don't know how to say last name. The Guiding Aerodin. It's a pendulum monster, level 4, scale of 3. It's the one that has the pendulum effect of you do not pay life points to activate counter trap cards, and you do not discard to activate counter traps.
Oh, the counter fairy thing.
Yeah, that's the pendulum effect, and the monster effect is this card destroyed by battle or card effect. You can reveal 3 counter trap cards from your deck to your opponent, and they choose one of them to add to your hand. The rest can shuffle back to your deck. So yeah, I think that's a card people should pick up too.
Yeah. I think people should pick up Super Heavy Samurais. That's what I'm hyping it now.
Super Heavy Samurais.
Yep, they're going to start winning regionals. I think we got enough to build a decent local or regional winning deck.
Interesting. Yeah, it's like the Samurais. They became super heavy. That's how they became. They got away from the gateway, and they were like, all right, we're going to become super heavy. That's how we're going to do it now. I'm just messing around. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've looked up very little on the super heavy Samurais. I heard some people say that they would be really good, but then I was like, well, I don't really see it popping up anywhere. But hey, maybe that's true.
Yeah, I had a local run-in with him, and I got OTK'd. Super Heavy Samurais. Ben K and like 3 of those hand equips. They it's kind of like the Utopia ZWs in a way, on how you can equip your heavy samurais to other samurai monsters. But if you equip them to your Benkei, which is your boss guy or boss samurai, you can do some pretty derpy things.
I remember when I did actually face Super Heavy Samurais a couple times on Dueling Network. Now, when I was facing them, I generally always won unless they OTK'd me, if that makes any sense. I don't know if just because the person I was facing, they just didn't have a good build or whatever, but that's about all I remember from them.
Also, another thing that I'm probably gonna say, uh, kind of underrated, or actually two things. I'll say it. Trying to think. Dynamist
Dino Mist.
seems like an interesting archetype. I'm not saying they're good, but interesting. Something to play around with and test. And another thing that's pretty underrated, it has potential, is Shiranui, which is basically the new zombie type monsters. And they have a lot of intriguing cards, I would like to say. Like, they have an Icarus attack that gold starts from deck. They have a monster that's when banished, it pops a card. And they have a lot of their other monster and support. They only got like maybe 4 monsters, maybe 2 traps, and a spell card. But they're zombies, so they have a decade worth of support. So you can do something special with them. I hope Konami keep supporting something like this, cause I always had an idea to do banished zombies, but there wasn't enough out for them yet. And this is like a good move in the right direction, in my opinion, cause I always thought Shiden Doji was a cool card, cause it can return, or you can banish zombies from your graveyard to draw, and I thought that was a cool mechanic, but they didn't really did nothing with Shiden Doji. But this is a good step in the right direction. Good job, Konami.
You know, I will like I think I said this a couple times on the show, but the one thing with Konami, with all the like power creep madness they've been doing over the past couple years with their sets, all their sub like archetypes have always done something unique or also pretty powerful as well. If the other stuff wasn't around, so I gotta give them props to that. Like I remember Maccabeast, I thought was awesome. The train stuff was interesting.
Yeah.
The UAs were interesting. Like a lot of stuff was interesting, but just kind of at the end of the day, it just wasn't as good as the most power creep stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like I would love if one day they make one of these. I'm gonna, for the sake of just this conversation right now, a subpar archetype like that, and then 2 sets later, suddenly they do something, and then suddenly it's fucking god tier. I don't remember an instance of that ever happening. It maybe happened at some point in Yuki history, if you ever recall, maybe. But I would love to see that happen.
Yeah, definitely. And like the other thing I gotta say is that scene that might be fun. I would like to build it and help others build it. Is the BLS deck or the Chaos Warrior deck.
Yeah, I guess that's the way you could look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, the rituals seem is pretty good, and they keep releasing support to support the Chaos Warrior deck. So why not? It's something to look into.
Could be, yeah. And you know what's nice about that? It's since it's chaos, you got a lot of options out there to help support it.
Yeah, it's like with Breakers of Shadows, it got a little bit for everybody.
Indeed. So overall, do you think this is going to go down history as one of the top 10 sets of all time in Yu-Gi-Oh? It might be. There's like a lot of things in here, not just for what's going on in the meta, but just a lot of other great cards.
I wouldn't even put it in the realm of top 10.
Ooh, really?
I will put it in the realm of top 3.
Oh, okay. You're giving it more credit than even I am.
Yeah, this easily top 3. I will put it at number 2.
Number 2. What would be number 1 if this is number 2?
Duelist Alliance, in my opinion.
You know, a lot of people like that Duelist Alliance. That was an interesting time. Like, let's see, because what was in Duelist Alliance? It wasn't that like everything like that really
Burning
changed
Abyss,
the game.
Shaddolls, Tellarknights, Yang Zings. 3 of those 4 became the meta. So the meta was defined out of the box. That was an out of the box set. And I can't remember the last set that did that. That's why it's my number 1 currently. I say currently because there's still future sets to come. And maybe they'll give us another good one that could make my list.
You know, some of the ones that I would have put up there, I don't know. I like, the Duelist Genesis, Crossroads of Chaos, and then like the Shining Darkness. I think were like really interesting. Those are cool sets. And then Star Strike Blast was one that I liked too.
Yeah, we got some good tech cards from there. A bunch of like your Vandy's Emptiness in the 5Ds era. Your Fect Veilers, Black Rose. Uh, Also, I know. What was that card? I'm trying to think of it. It came out. It was a cool hand trap. It was good for a while. Uh, can't think of it. It was a 17 Fiend monster if you remember it. And
Talking about Skullmeister?
there we go. I love that card.
I saw someone use it like a couple months ago, actually. I
Oh.
remember. I forgot what they were using it against.
I would like to pick up that card again because, if an effect monster activate in the graveyard, you can just ditch to negate it. I believe that's effect. Don't quote me on that though.
God, I'm pretty biased here. I think my favorite time of Yu-Gi-Oh was like Duelist Genesis all the way till Extreme Victory, right before XC. I think that was my favorite time in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
Pretty biased. I think that's probably why I like so many sets from those.
yeah, but I would say we had some looking at the chat. Phantom of Darkness. Let's get a pretty honorable mention. The Teledad days was pretty good, but it was like a combination. It was like
Phantom of Darkness. Oh, I know where Phantom of Darkness is. Okay. I was like, what the hell is that?
there is
set?
like cards to support that. Before the set came out and after that made it even better.
You bell, man.
Definitely.
That dark creator.
Another interesting one or the last one I would like to point to that was mentioned. Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. It was okay. Wasn't meta defining to the extent of Duelist Alliance, where the whole meta went on its head and just pushed everything up. Or it was in a way, but to a narrow extent, if you can understand what I'm saying by that. Like 2 decks. That was it. Mostly 70% to 30% of it. And 70% was Dragon Rulers. And the other 30% was Spellbooks. And everything else, like, 1% other. But that set wasn't really healthy at all. That was just too overpowered. Too overpowered.
Man, do you feel like from like Cosmo Blazer all the way on to the end of the, what is that, the Zexal, do you think that was kind of lame? I'm looking back and I'm like looking at some of these sets and I'm like, I don't know. There were some good cards that came out of that. I don't know. I just feel like they weren't as amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just might be my opinion, though. You know what we should totally do? We should probably do it next week or maybe a week after. Why don't we just fucking make up our lists of what we think is the top 10 sets?
Yeah.
I think we should do that. All right.
We should.
Yeah, I think top 10 would be good. I think we should do that maybe for next week or week after.
Yeah.
And we'll have to go with, I like that we should keep it to like main sets.
Yeah.
Of course, I think we could put, maybe we could do another list would be side sets what we could list those out. Because those would be like, I feel like the side ones would just be which ones gave us the best reprints.
Yeah. Easily.
I think that's how that would turn out at the end of the day. So, I think we'll have to do that. That'd be interesting. Some of you actually just bookmark this right now here. Okay, because I had the list up of the sets in order, and I was like, I'm going to take a look at this.
Definitely.
Yeah, so, fuck, man. Breaker of Shadows. Crazy shit. What came out before this? Something Victory, right?
Before Breakers of Shadow, it was Dimension of Chaos.
Dimension of Chaos. What was before that? Something Victory? Wasn't there a Victory one in this set?
Oh, that's next set. Shining Victories is
Shining
next
Victory's next. That's what I'm thinking of.
set. Yeah.
Something Victory is in this. Okay, I remember now. It's the new one coming up.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next little topic here to discuss, Deskbot card discussion. The reason I want to bring this up here, if I do believe the base is the field card, right?
Yes.
Because base, we got to see base, I think that was like a week or two ago, maybe? I don't know when it was shown.
Yeah.
Anyways, this card's pretty cool, so if you guys don't know, let me just read it real quick. All Deskbot monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. Once per turn, you can reveal any number of Deskbot cards in your hand and shuffle them into your deck, then draw cards equal to the number you shuffle into your deck. That's fucking nuts. I love that part almost. You can banish nine Deskbot cards with different names from your side of the field and or your graveyard, except the base, and shuffle all cards from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard into their deck.
Ooh.
So this field card, I actually saw a little bit of hype on this field card. I think people like really like that last effect because it's like a world-ending effect. But then the ability to like boost your guys and just shuffle through your deck.
Yeah.
It's fuck, man. It's like They could have made this just that weird last effect, and then like for maybe just boost guys up a little bit. But no, they like went the extra yard of making it actually worthwhile because it could shuffle your hand back in, and you could get a shitty hand out of there.
They borrowed a trick from Cosmos, essentially.
They were like, "Hey, those space guys are cool. How about we're robots and stuff? We'll come out with the same ideas and whatnot."
Pretty much.
Yep. And then another one which was revealed, I think, over the weekend. Again, don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. This is Despot number 9. He's level 9, obviously. 500 attack, 500 defense. His effect is once per turn during your main phase 1. That's very important. You can have this card gain attack equal to the combined attack of all Despot monsters you currently control, except itself, till the end of your opponent's turn. Monsters other than this card cannot attack this turn. The turn you activate this effect. If this card battles an opponent's monster and cannot... Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start over. If this card battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. If this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one Despot card you control instead. So I like this guy. He is kind of like their ultimate beater type of deal because you can boost him up. And then you can ram into things.
Yeah.
And then obviously nothing's going to be activated in response. And then if it does go, and somehow something happens in between that, you can send something else instead.
Yeah. I always said Despots were pretty decent for a longest of time. And I was like, it almost could be its own deck. Really. And just take it to a higher competitive level. But I think now's the time that it can be its own deck. We got almost everything we needed. It's also machine on top of that, so you can run techie cards like limited removal. And pretty much, it has enough cards to do everything you need to do. But at 4, I thought it was like a good engine. Like, when Necros died, I thought we was going to like convert, or not, they're not dead, but they're on their last leg. I thought we would like convert and do the same thing the OCG was doing for a while after they got super hit by the list, was to do Despot Necros. That seemed like an interesting idea that I thought would catch up over here, but never really picked up too much.
Guess not. No, I would never even thought to do that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good engine.
Oh, Despots. So maybe it's something you guys want to consider picking up, especially with the stuff that was just revealed. It's going to get stronger in the future. Might as well pick it up now while you can. I'm pretty sure that stuff's dirt cheap right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Most of it is commons.
Yep. The last thing I had here on the state of the game discussion here is this Enter Bluff FTK. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Enter Bluff, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Enter Bluff.
Maybe that's how you say it. So this is an FTK that utilizes that Exceed monster that says, like, banish. It can do multiple things, but I think the one you use here in this case is that you banish a card from their hand or something. Or no, banish a card from their deck. That's what it is. That's the one you use. And when you bring that guy out, then you do a loop. It's a skilled loop to return it to your extra deck and then recreate it again. And then you repeat this process
40 times?
At least 40 times,
Well,
yeah.
actually, 35 times, because you draw your 5 cards when you start the game.
That's true. Assuming they're running to 40, which they most likely are.
Yep. I'll be that oddball running 42, 43. Like, they'll make a mistake.
They'll make a mistake.
I'm like, well, you could try. I'll wait.
Yeah. What I like about it the most is, like, let's see. There's an Exodia variant of it. In the OCG, you're using, let's see, what are you using in the OCG? I'm going to bring up the list here for the OCG one. The OCG, you're using, vanilla type monsters and everything. You're using all these Earth monsters, obviously, because you use Grand Soil and Mist Valley and stuff to return stuff and everything, special summoning. So that's pretty cool. The English one, the difference really is, what is the difference between the English one? They're using, things. I want to see the list here. I think I would have this one. I didn't have this one ready to go, sadly. This list. Oops. And I just X'd it out. This is a professional show. Very professional. Very prepared. All right, so the English one uses the whole... Oh, yeah, so it uses the void card. That's what it is. Where you draw your cards, and if you don't, do anything at the end of the turn, you have to discard your whole hand or something.
Yeah.
It uses that funny bunny card
Mhm.
So the goal is you got to use that one guy that says send a card from your like extra deck or something. It's
Yeah.
that insect thing. Then you send that, and then you go ahead and you start doing that so that you can eventually get out your Grand Soil and your Mist Valley card, so that you're special summoning every time with Grand Soil for free, getting that monster back, then returning, allowing you to synchro up a bit. You got to then use DeLorean and the Mist Valley person to keep returning things back to your hand, and you continue that process throughout.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool, and you can do that in first turn.
Pretty much.
What I thought was interesting about this one, it's one of those skillful FTKs. Not like one where it's just like I have to activate this one card and this one card allows me to win. I just got to make up a scenario. It's like you literally have to know exactly what you're doing in between your loops. So theoretically, if I ever face a person like this, I wait all. You know what? I'd wait all 35 cards. I'll wait. What if he messes up? He might mess up, and there you go. And that's what I like about those skillful ones, because there's no theoretically I don't have to give up my turn because like just give up. I'm pretty sure no judge would say you had to give up because that's a loop they could mess up on. Not like an easy loop. Yeah. So I always thought these loops were interesting because of that, because they're ones that require skill.
Yeah.
Because if you fuck up, you're done. Although some people have made the case that, well, if you fuck up, you could have a Grand Soil still on the field. It's like you got some field presence, so it's not like you're totally doomed. But I would debate, yeah, you're kind of done.
Yeah.
Just saying, Napa. Yeah. So have you heard about this FTK before today? Or I'm guessing so.
Through word of mouth, but I actually never really seen it.
I saw some people talk about this back in March a little bit, but I saw a recent resurgence of it, which I don't know why. Recently, I've been seeing deck lists pop up. Maybe because people, I don't know, things have gone now and they're like want to try some trolley stuff. Maybe because that Exodia version's the new one of it.
This seemed like something fun for locals, but man.
Oh no, you don't want to. People would hate you. One, you take too long. Two, if you fuck up, you're done. And you'd have to like want to go first every time, I think.
Yeah, doing it anything higher than locals, my only big beef will be going into time.
I say you gotta play it out. Yeah, that would suck because if they're going first and you go into time, and there literally is no indication of who should win because there's no damage, there's no nothing. It's just like, hey, there you go. There's no burning going on either.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would suck. Yeah, don't go to regionals with this. You'd be a dick. You'd be a big asshole.
Indeed.
Indeed. And that's everything that I want to bring up on the table of the State of the Game talk right now. Is there anything you wanted to add, Gandhi?
Just wanted to touch on, in this State of the Game discussion, pendulums, just in general.
Pendulums? Oh man, you're telling me they're good now? No, they are.
The state of how they would change, in which the effect that bosses will have on how we pendulum. I want to say that it's going to get a bit faster. We thought things sped up. It's going to speed up even more until we get another list. But it's going to be, I main the floodgates and hopefully open them, or I just lose to combo derps that the pendulum mechanic is doing with your Pepe related cards, like your newly released sorcerer, your pluses, your clowns, your Draco slayers. Like I thought when Dracos was coming out, I thought it was gonna be its own thing. No clowns, no performance pals. I was interested to see what Konami evolve it to be something else, but the way they've been releasing, it seems like it has an effect to be integral to other pendulum decks. It's not really its own thing. Maybe it could change into its own thing later when everything is banned or whatnot, or
and everything gets banned.
But I thought we would do something like it's essentially its own archetype, but it's used as support right now. And I was hoping that it would be something different, something having its own playstyle per se. But maybe time will tell.
if you call creating card advantage and field presence and a archetype itself, then sure, yes.
Yeah, it definitely helps. It's like integral part to a big monster that's we have right now in the TCG.
It's interesting when we're at a point when I'm discussing people with certain things like what they could do with their Pepe that they're like, well, that I don't want to play anything that's -1. I want to always be not going negative ever in any sense of a way. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, you're already super fast. So can't you try something a little different that would give you let's say an advantage in certain situations a little bit? Like, come on, you gotta be no. I gotta make sure when at the end of this I have a full field 5, a full hand, nothing, no negatives, no nothing.
Yeah, I seen like I seen fields post BOSH on at best on a regular basis. If I wanted to, I could make a field of 2 exceeds, have 2 to 3 cards in hand, and have 2 pendulum scales. First turn, that's like a +1 or +2, and inherently, your exceeds or extra deck period is a -1. So essentially, he +3 or more or better first turn.
That's
But
pretty amazing.
but it's that advantage is going to widen coming post botch. This is just like the opening to the show, as I would like to say.
We are the Perform Mage and Perform Pals. This is the first act. This is the opening. Wait till you see Act 2.
Exactly. BOSH is Act 2, and it's going to pick up a lot. And just this super hybrid is just going to get more ridiculous.
If the dragons back in the day were like they're rolling over their graves. They're like, whoa, what the heck? We didn't fuck, man. Things are way different now. We thought we were hot shit.
Yeah, it's like you were saying before, free advantage from technical or from typical negs. You had to work for that neg, and it become free. I'm not too sad on the progression because when Exceeds came out, Exceeding was like a big neg in a sense. Like, why would I trade in my 2 15 attack monsters, for example, to get out some guy that's just 24? I'd rather just keep my 2 monsters, but the idea has changed to disregard that type of logic and just go into your neg 1 to possibly get a hand advantage if that IE searched or could destroy or minus your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But it's off. This perspective of it has changed since its inception.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny because like you think about the pendulum, the whole pendulum mechanic is kind of nothing without the extra deck. If you think about it, if they don't have no exceeds to go into, or even we'll say even synchros somehow. Let's go with synchros too. So even without synchros or exceeds, the whole pendulum mechanic's kind of just like, bleh, I spit out my hand and then I got nothing. Which you would think at the end of the day that would be useless, but because there is exceeds out there. And like you said, people are willing to go those negs because it makes sense now. Because if you can spit out everything, make all these exceeds, and possibly be able to, like you said, neg your opponent or make your hand advantage even better, it's worth it now. Before, you'd only make an exceed when you're like, in a specific situation you get out of. Like, let's say you need to make a dweller to slow your opponent down. Let's say you need to make that 101 to take something away. Like, before, that's what your extra deck with the exceeds were, like your utility monsters. People just didn't make them blindly because it was like a waste,
Yeah, it used to be like piece for piece, card for card, and now it's just a super advantage grinding, and like I can do this all at one time.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the pendulums changed up the game. Like that's how they did, and at first they didn't do that, but then Konami made them to do that eventually.
It's like what I was saying before, like evolution of playstyle. There was 2 ways to play pendulums, and when just after it came out, when it was on the height, or when it first reached its first height. And when I say its first height, I like to highlight the deck, the only workable pendulum deck at the time coming out of New Challengers, and if you remember correctly, that was Clifford's.
Those big old guys.
The way you play that deck is like how you would normally want to play pendulums. You just special summon monsters, attack with them, and they float to the sense if they were mirror force or destroyed, they go to the extra deck. Keep bringing them back every time until you uh ran out your opponent's resources and could make successful progressive plays. And this was all thanks to having the pendulum scale or keeping the pendulum scale or being able to recur your pendulum scale. Now, that type of logic is like dying out because you don't really care anymore if they keep coming back because you can keep or the new type of way to play pendulums is kind of tending to the fact that you can just keep pumping out pendulums from your extra deck. You can keep making the pendulums however you want to, or being I don't want to say wasteful because it's kind of still have to do it skillfully. Is you don't have to keep monsters in your extra deck because you can generate them from the deck when most of your deck is purely pendulums, obviously, but it's like going from like a different trend from when you clip forts. You can just stick with your same 3 or 4 monsters for like 3 or 4 turns. Now it doesn't matter because I'm making those exceeds with my Pepe deck, and with your exceeds they go to the graveyard, but it doesn't matter because I can still advantage grind what I was talking about earlier and just keep pumping them out my deck. It's like the way you played it has changed, and it's gonna go into a second gear, and that's my thoughts on that. Anything you have to say, Matt?
In terms of pendulums, I was thinking about this. What if you could balance pendulum, like maybe the way they should have did pendulums, where how you bring out your scales, let's say you got 2 to let's go 1 to like 8 or whatever. So there you go, you can spit out like 2s and 7s and all that jazz between 2s and 7s. You know how you can do it pendulum only once per turn, but then you can do it again the next turn.
Yeah.
You think that they maybe should have made it where your first initial monsters that were there, they could only be used to pendulum summon once? Like you go your 1 and your 8. So then you can get your 2s between 7. But then once they do that, they can't do that anymore, and then you have to replace them. You think that would have helped? Or you think that's kind of just a bad idea, and I'm just kind of stunting them for no reason?
If they had minimal longevity, and what I mean by that is like that effect is okay if you attach the effect or add effect that they'll destroy themselves like 2 turns after it plays. So
I see. So that they can get rid of it without actually physically putting another one down.
Or it will blow, and I say it in a sense that they will blow themselves up, and it force you to play more. It force you to do new than just leave these 2 out for the.
Oh, you're saying literally once they do the pendulum summon, they should blow up maybe immediately?
Or on activation.
Activation.
Like they blow themselves up in 2 turns.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I would like that because I think that would be I don't know if that would help per se, but I think that would be a better way to do it because then they couldn't just keep those guys there forever, and you wouldn't have to like, oh, I've got to run Twin Twisters and like spell shattering arrows and all this other jazz, right? So
they might do something similar to that in the near future. If I give you that idea, Konami, send me
a check.
Yeah.
Or send him a roll of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Give him 1 copy of everything in the last like 3 sets. There you go. He'll be happy.
7 sets, Konami.
7 sets. So give me 7 sets. I want some of that other good shit.
That'd be interesting to probably build up on. I'm glad that it stayed between 1 and 8 out being generic. If it was higher than that, it'd be a bit ridiculous. But there are their own archetypes that exceeded the 8. But that's a very in a controlled way. Like pendulums go up, or Cliff Forts went up to 9, but you only can do Cliff Fort monsters. Also, D to D's
D.
uh had a higher scale than the typical normal pendulums, but they had restrictions to that. But I like DDDs though.
D. King
Uh,
D.
but like me and my friend was discussing earlier, they won't be really uh good until we get the structure deck for DDDs. That's what me and him is waiting on. But
That structure deck.
it's pretty. It can be a pretty notable local deck if you build it right. Definitely agree on that.
Indeed. All right, then. Well, I guess that's probably it you got for State of the Game, then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Boom. Let's move on to the Tech of the Week.
Yes.
Bam. I got a picture and everything. There we go. Picture's up.
Nice.
Let's go ahead. This is yours, apparently, because I think you popped this in right during the show.
Yeah.
Got that. Gandhi's on point.
It is Magical Deflector. If you don't know what this card does, I'm about to tell you. It's something to check out. It's basically depending on how you use it, it could be like a trap stun for face-up spell and trap cards. What it does is, or my intention of why I put it here is to stun pendulums. You can stun pendulums because for its effect is you can negate all equip, field, and continuous and quick play spell cards on the field for the rest of the turn. So any spell on the field, you can just chain this trap card. It's a trap card, by the way. And just blanket effect negate all the face-up cards currently on the field and possibly on the chain. I think it's a pretty good tech and something to try out.
Yeah, I think it might be because, at the point, like, again, I think you said it right. You have to play it just like you were playing your trap stuns, but,
Yeah.
you play it just like that, works out good for you. Definitely something worth try. I think I'm going to try it out on some of my stuff.
Yeah, it's a pretty good underrated side card. It came out a while ago. It came out in Abyss Rising.
Abyss Rising? Oh, my God.
And that's like 5 to 8 sets ago, but there's some pretty ingenuity and there's some pretty inventive cards out there if you look. But yeah, this was one of the cards I was looking at as I was going through my cards today. I'm like, man, this is good. I got a list in my head lined up of these techs, but yeah, this is something to be looking out for.
Indeed, that's definitely that. So that's our Tech of the Week for you guys. Okay, so that will be the end of our show. So that I want to thank Gandhi for joining us as always.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Gina. I don't remember if I had... Oh, no, I don't have one of those things. Make sure you check out MegaScripture.com for all the VODs of all the other shows and all the other content that we put out there. If you're into gaming and all that jazz. We actually have a lot of cosplay photos if you guys are into that. Jizz. Because I know what you're going to do when you see them hot ladies. No, that's why I say that. No, but seriously, yeah, we got those photos out there and everything. Want to see all the VODs of all the shows. If you want to join the forums, continue the conversation beyond the episodes, you are welcome to. This has been episode 6 of the standby phase. And it's January 10th, 2016. And we will see you all next week. Homies, peace out.
Later.